Hey, Drone on Dude. So today decided to have a ride up to Weardale, in the upper part of Weardale. I'm in Westgate and I am going to have a circular route taking in Slitt mines and hopefully exploring a couple of other interesting geological features along the way. So hope you enjoy the video. Catch you later. Okay, so first little thing to point out, it looks a little bit of a funny place to get to, but if you follow the Ordnance Survey map, it'll take you through the back of this little gate, back of this property, and then literally we just follow the footpath, follow the stream all the way. Okay, so it's actually brought us, when I've just checked the map, brings us away from the stream, and then we pick it up again just a little bit further up. I think we go between these properties here. Yes, this is looking familiar. Yep, this is the correct way. Okay, so if I remember rightly, I think when you walk up here there's a few signs up discouraging people from photographing things. I think it's just a private property and the owners are a little bit protective. So once you've come through that gate, you're straight into Slitt Woods, and absolutely stunningly beautiful place it is. So if you're into waterfalls, then this is clearly the place for you. Definitely just walk through and you can see. Oops, this could go wrong, but oh, there we go. Yep. Lovely place. Okay, so I'm just having a little look at the bedrock in what is known locally, I think, as Middle Hope Burn, which I think shares the same name as the quarry at the very top, Middle Hope Quarry. But what I'm seeing here looks very much like the same bedrock that was in Hope Burn, which had the famous Frostley marble. The only difference here is I don't see any evidence of the fossils in this rock, but it certainly looks the same otherwise. So I'm guessing it's a limestone unique to this area. So this area gets its name from the Slitt vein, which is the mineral vein that was mined for fluorite, I believe, and lead. Now, a little reading up on it and reading the information posts, the mineral was deposited because a very, very mineral rich brine kind of bubbled up through fractures in the limestone and then cooled, and different rates of cooling, different rocks that it cooled as it was passing through separated the minerals, so you end up with veins of fluorite in various different colours and also lead or galena. So yeah, interesting place. Another bridge, another waterfall. I have to say it's beautifully clear, this water. Very inviting. Okay, so we should be approaching, I think, the first of the mine workings. But again, get another waterfall. If you look just beyond it, I think they're either storage sheds or something to do with the mineral washing. But let's go and find out. Beautiful place. Just been eaten alive by a horsefly, but that's the story of my life. Anyway, all of this area here, I believe, is a mine. where the main mine was. So you can see the quite clearly man-made banks of the burn there, which is clearly directing the water, the flow of the water, which was the main power source, I believe, back then. Okay, so I've just reached down at the stream there, and that's a piece of galena, which is the main ore of lead. Okay, so onwards and upwards. I didn't want to do too much filming around there because there was a couple of families having a picnic, and I don't want to be that annoying guy, as much as I try not to be. But anyway, definitely worth a visit. So we'll head off up and see what's further upstream. Okay, so we've just come from down there and it opens up. We're now kind of into the upper part of the burn and out of the main woods. Again, still an abundance of waterfalls and a lovely crystal clear water. I'm going to have a pop down there, have a little route through and see what minerals there are, maybe some fossils if I'm lucky. So once again, it doesn't take too long just to flick over a few rocks, and then that is a lovely little piece of fluorite. And if I had my UV light with me, fluorite gets its name because it fluoresces under ultraviolet light, I believe. It really does, it kind of glows, so yeah, it's nice to see. So I'll also point out there's quite a lot of evidence of iron in the stones up here, which you'll see evidence of the mining of that in a short while. Look at that, right there at my feet, absolutely stunning piece of fluorite, just pure fluorite. Yeah. Doesn't really do it justice. Beautiful. Guess the tree. There we go. Hazelnut in every bite. So it's not too bad a walk this, to be fair. It's steady uphill, a little bit uneven in places, but I think unless it was severely wet and muddy, I think most people would manage this. Says he with his two left feet. Okay, so we've got some more disused mine workings. I'm not sure if this is Middlehope Mine. I can see on the map right the way up the top of the burn is listed as Middlehope Old Mine, which is a fluorspar mine. So I'm going to see what the information boards tell us about this place. Okay, so it is Middlehope Shield Mine and Washing Area. So that old photograph there is actually this area here. How fantastic is that? Okay, so you can still see evidence of the old tramways which would have carried the minerals from the mine, and I believe the mine entrance is just over here. Yep, looks like it. Oh, steady. Yep, there it is. So that's the old mine entrance where literally about 100 miners were employed to work in there, probably in darkness and with nothing more than candle power, pickaxes. Yep, must have been a hard job. Okay, so I'm just looking up the line of the burn past those spoil heaps, and I think that must be the other mine entrance up there. So I'm just at one of the spoil heaps here, and I'm just looking through at the various minerals, and you can see quite clearly there's a piece of quartz there with galena in it. There are bits of fluorite, but there's a lot of very high iron content stone. You can see, tell by the colour of it. Now I want you to bear this in mind when we look at the next point of interest, because that's quite significant. It's an interesting one. With abandon in that rock. You can only imagine the sort of the turmoil and chaos that was going on in the Earth's crust when this stuff formed. Onwards and upwards, another hill. So we've just come from down there and we are heading off up there. I have to say the application that I use for navigating, backcountry navigator, I've had it for years now, but it's absolutely fantastic. It works off the Ordnance Survey mapping system, and you know when you're out for a walk and you're kind of questioning, well, should I go through there? It looks like private land or whatever. It has all of the rights of way marked, so unless they're being moved by the landowner, pretty much guarantee you have a safe route through. Well, I've come across a couple that they almost take you through people's back gardens, but they are marked rights of way, but ones that you probably wouldn't otherwise venture down. So yeah, very useful. Okay, so the place that we're heading to next is just at the end of this track where it meets up with the road. And I'm just going to pan around to the right, and if you look over there, just down there is where we came from. You can see that pond over there would have been something to do with the mine, to give them a pressure head of water to run machinery, water wheels, that sort of thing. So the mine, the vein that was the Slitt vein, is under the ground there. So we are heading literally just ahead, and all will be revealed. Okay, we're out the road, and here's exactly what we're looking for. Quite see it yet when it comes into shot, all should be clearer. So this is the West Rig open cut, and what you're seeing a little bit closer, so in that area there you see the ridge sticking up, that is the Slitt mineral vein, and it's quite unique in that it broaches the surface here. But the interesting fact is that the mineral in there wasn't mined, it was the rocks from either side which were high in iron content. They didn't believe that there was enough fluorite, lead, or that the price wasn't there for those minerals, but the minerals either side of that vein, which were the iron rich rocks, were, so they were taken away, and that's what's left. So it is on private land, so you can't actually get access to it, but you can see from this graphic here that we've got space on either side where they've quarried the iron ore. There is actually quartz and fluorite in the middle there, and there is actually what looks like a mine, an entrance to a mine where they did attempt to quarry to mine the lead. So yep, quite an interesting feature, considering just behind us they were digging down and going deep into the ground to get to the same minerals. Just had a chat there to an interesting local lad who was out on his motorbike. He was saying you can get access into there, but it is restricted, so I'm not going to chance it. But still nice to see on the side of the road. Right, so back down into the valley, back to where the car's parked, which is over there. A good little walk. Catch you later. just on my way back down into Westgate, and across in the distance I can just make out over there there's a quarry, and I think, I can't be 100% sure, but I think that quarry is the quarry that was used to mine the limestone for the Blue Circle Cement Works in Eastgate. And if it is, that's also the filming set for something called Beowulf, which was filmed a few years back. So yeah, another interesting point. Almost back to the car. Well, it's been a cracking walk, absolutely stunning up here, really warm. Yeah, rain stayed off, which was forecast. Only gripe, the flies. I got eaten alive, so I tried me trusty Avon Skin So Soft. Great stuff, didn't make a heap of the difference to the flies, just blinded us. So yeah, my eyes are a little bit sore, but hey, that's what it's all about, getting out and just doing your thing. Catch you later.